Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
Good morning.
Good morning, Kaylee and the turkey tots.
You look like I just woke up. In fact, I did not. I've already been to the grocery store today.
What's happening?
I
That's
don't know.
crazy. I have just woken up within the last, well, it's been an hour. It's been
There
over
you
an
go.
hour. So,
What are we doing? More Hosh Posh tips.
part 2. I didn't realize we had so many last time.
I know. As I started thinking about them, they sort of just kept on flowing. Last week we talked about just random hodgepodge tips and tricks and life lessons that are not so serious that we learned in our first, I'm not doing the math, however many years of adulthood it is from 18 to 34. Let me just start
16?
thanks. Not refuse. Okay. Here we go. Number 1 of part 2. A tip that I've learned is that booking directly with a hotel is usually just as good of a price as booking with one of the online big discount boys, because I don't know why. It's not always true, but especially if it's a local establishment. And if you book directly with the hotel or bed and breakfast, usually you can pick your room. And Jason and I have found that typically they'll reserve like a poop room for the big boy mass-produced internet finder people. And you can often, like, sometimes you can get a discount, sometimes, just some of the little finaglers. And at the end of the day, I would rather, even if it's like $5 more to book direct, I'd rather book directly with the people so that if I have an issue, I can contact them directly. We do this all the time, like last minute from the road, where I actually call them and talk to a person and book, which is nice because then I have real confirmation that it's real. And the business person is making more money instead of having to pay off a percentage to fill in the blank booking website.
I like it. That's really smart. I feel like if that's the same price, is it just the bundling you think that saves people money, like the flight and the hotel? Or
I think sometimes you can save money if you book with like a major hotel chain. Like I think sometimes Hilton or, some of those big daddies, I think that they're really helpful to use as a search engine.
Yes.
So I'll use them to search, but then I'll go book direct. I find this to be true a lot with flights too. Sometimes you can get good deals, but if you have a problem, then you have to deal with who booked it. And that can be like, I don't know, dude, it's not always worth it. So use them as a search engine, but don't be afraid to just go into the Google and go directly to that person's website, because sometimes they even give you if they are paying 5% to this booking website, sometimes they'll throw you, or 10%, like they'll throw you 5 for booking direct.
No,
Anyway.
also I made the mistake of one time using a big search engine and like bundling everything and like hotel, car, flights, and my flight had a layover. And so it was like, I'm not going to call it the airlines because I don't remember, but it was 2 separate airline companies. And that was a pain in the absolute, you know what, because I think it was on the other side of the airport and I almost missed my connection. And so never again, unless I have a good amount of time in between, will I switch airline companies during a layover. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I could see how they could get you a deal, stuff like that, piecemealing things together where normal people aren't necessarily going to do that stuff. I'm not discounting them completely, but for last minute hotel stays, it is definitely worth taking a gandaroony at the local person.
I like it. Okay, here's some more of Kayla's household get ready with me tips and tricks. I don't think I said this one last time, but I'm not sure what's wrong with our generation because I don't think any of us like to iron. But if you have like a ironing required fabric and it's just wrinkled, just spray it with some water and throw it in the dryer for like 5-10 minutes. So sorry. Like I do that all the time and it comes out perfectly great. If you have like an actual like suit shirt, like that's not gonna work. But if you have one of those like wicking or whatever, where it just gets
just
or just
not as
cotton,
stiff of a material.
Like for women's clothes, I feel like it's way easier. So I just spritz with water and throw it in the dryer and don't have to pull out my iron.
Heck yeah, dude. I do that sometimes too. If I have let stuff sit, I'll pull out the shit that I need to be de-wrinkled. And then, like, if I do a load of towels or something, I just put
Yeah.
them back in the dryer with the damp stuff.
Yes, sometimes I've thrown in like one thing and it just like sits on one of the shelves and just goes like this. I'm like, well, that didn't do anything. So if you have a couple more items in there, like not a whole thing, because then those will get really hot. And I'm like, I'm probably messing them up. But if you just have a couple other clothes in there, toss
Yeah.
it in.
Heck yeah, dude. All right. This isn't really a tip, but this is something that I just considered thanks to my husband who's stepping into my web of conspiracies. You know how all the data centers need precious metals, among other things, but also copper for the wiring?
Mm,
Do we find
hmm
it unusual that the penny got discontinued?
I do find it weird.
We need the copper?
Hmm
You know what I'm saying? I know they're not pure copper. It's like it's copper plated, but I find the timing to be a little suspicious, which it really is a hosh posh tip of just ask questions.
Just
Just be
use your brain.
curious.
Yeah,
Be curious. Wonder about things. And if they seem too good to be true or they seem slightly fishy,
they
just
might
stay
be.
fishy about it. You don't have to believe everything the authority says.
It's so funny. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Um, Literally last night I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this and I had to add it to my list. So I did not know about this until last night.
Mm.
So you know when you have like a bunch of grease in a pan, I
Yeah.
don't, well, I don't think anyone should pour it down their sink, but I specifically don't. And so I always just let it sit, or I'll pour it into a bowl, or I'll pour it into a Ziploc bag or like a plastic bag and just like then throw it in the trash. But I saw this lady throw a big scoop of cornstarch into the grease, like after it was not terribly hot, and just
Mm-hmm.
stirred it in. And like the next morning, I can't tell if it's real or not, but it was like just this gelatinous circle of flat grease. And she just tossed it in the trash.
Weird.
Cause like, you know how cornstarch thickens
Yeah.
things? So I'm gonna try that next time and I'll report back. But it
Oh
looked
my gosh.
really convenient because I don't like having to pour the grease in a bag or in a bowl and like, not all of it solidifies. It's just like the fatty stuff on the top.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes I'll let it sit. If it's cold enough in my house and there's liquid in the bottom, the fat will separate off and float, and then I can skim it off. But I
That's
feel you.
true. I just choose
Your
dump
thing sounded
everything.
fun.
I know, right? So it was like a little jelly plate of grease. Yeah. We'll see if it works.
I'm currently using fat as cooking fat that I poured off of a rib, like a roasted rib section. Anyway,
Mhm.
I love reusing stuff. I feel so in tune with the earth. Anyway,
That's fair.
turns out you don't need separate hand soap and dish soap.
Bro, what a good
Okay.
one.
What
Yeah.
a good one. You can now I have sensitive little sad baby weenie hands, and so I get that Myers dish soap because it seems to work just as good on the dishes. I'm sure it's not perfectly natural, but it doesn't tear me up like Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not dyed and it doesn't just smell so soapy. I don't know. The smell of Dawn grosses me. It's just not pleasant. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I just put my Myers dish soap into a pump and I use it.
So you just like buy in bulk and just you're using it around the house.
So we just have one big soap and I just shove it in all of the pumps.
Okay, I can get behind that. I do a little bit differently. I have my Dawn. I do use Dawn because I like the pump thing. It's just nice. And not the spray Dawn though, because that is way too strong. Gives me an immediate headache. But I only have the dish soap at the kitchen sink, and I
Oh,
have
yeah.
normal soap in the other bathrooms. But I will 100% use the Dawn soap to wash my hands. And I'm like, well, if anything, it's probably just stronger. So I'm just getting like an extra good scrub, my
Right?
hands when I use the kitchen sink. My mom
Bro,
has like both right next to each other,
I
and I
know.
just
I always
feel.
saw it. So did mine. I did for a while. And then one day I was like, why am I doing this?
I mean, I like it, but I'm not gonna take the time to have two bottles of soap next to my sink.
I also just, it takes up too much space and I have a small kitchen.
Oh, was that yours? Yes, that was
Yeah.
yours. I got all excited about my dish soap. Okay. Anyway, Okay, this is like a tried and true tip, but if you didn't know, if pantyhose ever come back, or what would you call them?
Tights?
Tights, if they ever come back in style and not like the fake ones where it looks like skin, but it's actually like warmness underneath, which actually are, I don't own a pair, but I kind of would like to. But if you have a true pair of pantyhose, as I like to call them, you get a rip in one, you just put like clear nail polish on it to stop it
Oh,
from
yeah.
continuing to rip. We all
That's
know
a
that,
good
I feel
one.
like, from back in the day.
I always get tears at the top from like trying to yank them up with my
Yes,
nails.
because what else are you supposed to do? But yeah,
I don't know. And also, I don't care if they're in style or not. I love a good pair of tights in the wintertime.
it's like it's just this minuscule layer. I don't know why it makes you feel like you're not just wearing like a dress with
Well,
your whole leg out.
yeah, I just don't want my legs raw in the world. I don't know. Plus they're so white, especially in the winter. Okay, this is a like a continual reminder to myself that I am allowed to buy new underwear and new socks because I've learned that the bottom layer of my clothing really does seem to inform my posture for the day. So
Wow.
I just, if my boobs are in a shitty, saggy, mangled up bra, I feel shitty and sad and mangled. Do you know, there's just
Yeah.
something about like putting on it and it just feels good. And then you feel good in how you feel. And then that's just the secret undertone of what's happening for the day.
Oh my gosh. Well, I like that perspective. A socks for me is like one of those things where I wait too long and I forget, and then all
Oh, yeah.
somehow all of my socks have holes.
I don't feel as much like a power queen with good socks, but like having underwear that are comfortable that I like and a
Mhm.
bra that
Mhm.
actually holds things where they're supposed to go and
Mhm.
just makes me feel alert. And then the
Well,
flip side is the reminder that I could just get new socks because as we speak, I have taken one pack, so they all feel the same but are a mixture of colors and thrown away the holes, but now all my pairs are multicolored.
wait, they don't match?
The texture matches, so I can't feel a difference, and they're no shows. But there's like a gray and a white one together and shit like that.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I know that's one OCD thing I have. Like I have to have my socks match, and honestly, I only have black and white socks, except for a few, and those are different. But I will tell you that I bought new socks, and now I don't even know where the ones with the holes are. So when I find them, I'm gonna throw them away. But the ones like it makes me feel like a whole new person.
You know,
New socks.
I bought an expensive pair of running socks. Actually, no, someone gave them to me for free because a pair of tennis shoes I ordered took too long. And I'm really quite mad about it because they are
Because now
supreme
you
to
love
every
them.
other sock I've owned. I will wash them and like wear them as a treat, and I should just go buy another stupid pair. It's $20. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna get 10 pairs of them. But God, they're
Maybe.
nice.
It's nice. Yeah, when you get spoiled with one pair of socks, then all the other ones feel gross.
Yeah,
That is
that's
so
why I
funny.
refuse to buy Lululemon leggings because I don't want to know about it.
I know. My sister-in-law has spoiled me with Lulu and Skims, and I just don't even know what to do with myself. Anyway, it's fine. It's mine. I love these, and I know we talked about them, and it's a random food tip. If you ever are in the grocery store and if you ever see something that says beef finger ribs, you have to buy them. You have to buy them and you have to put them in a Dutch oven. You have to put a little bit of bone broth in it. We'll season the things first. Put some bone broth in it and cook it low and slow. And oh my God, it's the most delectable meat. Like no sauce, no nothing. I don't even season it a lot. I just season it with some basic stuff. And I could just literally eat that. Like those make me want to go back to like hardcore strict carnivore diet. Like
Yeah.
I'll eat that every day.
I still haven't found them here. I found
Ugh,
something similar. I love a beef rib in we talked about this last time, but just the shitty cuts of meat that they usually sell for pretty cheap that if you just tried to like cook them on your grill, you would have to break your jaw chewing them to death. But man, you put that shit in a Dutch oven with some broth and it is the best thing you've ever eaten, bro.
I need to do more meats in the Dutch oven with the broth. I obviously like low and slow on those, but I'm wondering where are the finger ribs?
Y'all in Texas do have just like beef resources that the rest of us don't have in this country.
Ugh, either way, if you ever see it, please buy it and please eat it. They're so good. Yeah.
I would like people to know that if you're stressed out for an upcoming holiday hosting, you can use paper plates and no one will die. If you get really excited and you really enjoyed setting out special china. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's lovely. But
Mhm.
if you're feeling stressed out, just rip off the Band-Aid. Get some Big Daddies. Let people double them up. Let me say that even if you're going to have formal dinner plates, I highly recommend getting small paper plates for the dessert round.
100%, 'cause by that time, you do not wanna worry about dishes.
No.
Yeah.
This has been the most liberating thing. And we go back and forth. It depends on the year. But on some of the years where I just don't have it in me, or it's a lesser holiday, like a cookout holiday or any of those types of
Mhm.
things, man, just like let yourself off the hook. No one's going to be mad. And if they are, then
They're
fuck it.
uninvited. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thanksgiving and Christmas are the only ones that we do glass. So ceramic, whatever the plates are, but always paper for dessert. And then every other get together, it's typically paper because who's trying to do all that?
Right?
Yeah.
No one will die.
Okay, I have one more in the kitchen tip and then one life tip. So everyone talks about baking soda, and there's so many different tips and tricks. But the one that I find fascinating, which I don't use, but I know about it, is putting like, I think it's just water and baking soda, and you soak your fruit. And apparently, like 5,000 worms come out of strawberries. And I'm like, but where are they? So I don't do that because I feel like it's going to freak me out. But I know
Mhm.
about it. I probably should, but I don't.
Baking soda is a magic maker, and I like to put maybe half a teaspoon of baking soda anytime I make a tomato-based sauce because it cuts the
Mm.
acidity down and you don't taste it.
Oh, okay. I feel like baking soda, I mean, you use it for laundry, you use it for cleaning, you use it for cooking. I mean, you use it for baking. There's probably a conspiracy theory about around baking soda because it's just too good.
It's
Like
so
it could
good.
probably cure cancer and they're probably hiding it or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm going.
What can't baking soda do? Okay, not everybody is maybe going to find this to be that much of a helpful tip, but for me, waxing my own armpits was a breakthrough, and I 10 out of 10 recommend it because I had to go to an actual esthetician for the first couple of times because it's hard when your hair roots are fully solidified. But
You
once
just grip
she
it on.
yeah, painful and also painful. But once she cleared the way, I was able to maintain it. I just bought a cheap little wax warmer. I have hard wax beads. I just warm it up. It takes no time, but I don't, especially for the like thick, dark-haired people such as myself. You don't, you always have a 5 o'clock shadow when you shave your armpits. And then when it starts to grow out, it gets scratchy and it's just the worst feeling. So I just can't say enough. I do a couple of strips and yank it out. It doesn't hurt. I can do it as often as I want because it's at my house.
And
And
it's a lot
then,
cheaper.
oh yeah, it hardly costs anything. And then I'm not having to shave my armpits every day. And when it does start to grow out a little bit, once you've done it for a while, things start to thin out because the hair doesn't grow back, fully
Too
formed.
much trauma. Or like
Yeah.
not
So
coming
like baby,
back.
it grows back slowly and then there's
Mm.
baby hairs. And so then you just sort of see them and you're like, well, that's too much. And then you just tear them out again.
I'm so glad you
I
do that.
can't say enough about it.
Maybe I'll have to give that a try. Okay. My last tip for life is that don't you forget you are replaceable at work, but you are irreplaceable at home.
Oh, I like
So when it feels like you need to do all the things and do all the stuff and blah, 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 like you're replaceable, but not for your loved ones. So don't let work stress you out too much because life is more about just work.
I like that. I agree. And sometimes if you're not doing the most, then they are like, wow, something's missing. Maybe it's this person that we're not paying attention to. My last but not least tip is that you can make your own natural lotion and then you can just use it everywhere. And then you don't have to spend a bunch of money on skincare and retinol moisturizer and whatever else they try to sell you on TV commercials. Literally just look up lotion bars on the internet. There's various recipes. You just basically need a little bit of beeswax, some type of hard oil, like one that's solid at room temperature, and some kind that is liquid at room temperature. My current combo is beef tallow and olive oil. It's not
Mm.
expensive. I can use it everywhere. If I want a little bit of a scent, I can mix some essential oil in my hand before I rub it in. There's no water, there's no chemicals. I know where it came from. I use it everywhere. It's cheap. I
Is
can't
it
say
hard
enough
to
about
make?
it. No, I literally don't even measure. I just like throw the shit in there and then I just have like a shitty little, like a little pot that I bought just for this that has like a pour spout. They said use a double boiler. Fuck them. Just put it in there on low heat, let everything melt, stir it around. I bought some cheap silicone molds from Amazon that I reuse every time to just pour it in so it's like a
Mhm,
decent oval shape.
mhm.
And then when I pop them out, if it doesn't rub on your skin and melt from the heat of your skin, you have too much beeswax. So just add some more oil. And if it's too melty, you literally can just dump them all back in and remelt them and then just
Mm,
add a little bit more oil.
that's true.
It's foolproof.
Okay.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
I love it. I tried yours that one time, and it was beautiful.
It's a little greasy sometimes, but again, like,
But at least you know
I'm
what it
so,
is.
exactly. And I'm so sick of even the lotions that say they're whatever. It's just the ingredients list is so long and my skin feels good.
Mhm.
And beeswax is a little bit of a natural, what's it called? Sun protectant.
Interesting. That reminds me of maybe a whole other episode about things that we have been told are helpful, but actually could be killing us.
Toxic.
Maybe that could be another episode. Got already a couple in my head.
As you mentioned that, I'm slowly approaching being the person that unplugs their Wi-Fi at night.
Keely, I was just okay, not a sponsor, but I just saw this thing where they like connected it to a switch. It's just like a light switch. I would love that.
Why don't you just plug yours into one of your outlets that is already on a switch?
Okay, I gotta find it. It's too much work. I'm just kidding. It's not. But do you feel a difference when you sleep?
No, I haven't done it yet. It's just every night after I already go to bed, I'm like, fuck, I forgot to
I
unplug the
should have.
Wi-Fi. I've been having this conversation with myself for the last 4 weeks. But
Oh
soon I
my
will be one of those
gosh.
people.
I might be right behind you.
I thank you about the light switch thing because when we eventually have a different house, I will have them install it next to a switch that has, or next to a plug that has a switch.
Yeah. On your way home or on your way to the bedroom?
Okay, I know that note.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.